Hello everyone, a very good morning to all. Welcome to Officer Sata 247 YouTube channel. So I hope you guys are preparing very well for the examination and your exam is scheduled on the 26th February. So I hope everyone is preparing very well for the examination. So one thing I would like to say for your preparation that first you just understand every concepts from the videos and after that just read the book whatever you have for the accounting paper and that is the reason or say that is the process for that you just clear the examination if you are a beginner. Okay, so let's start the session. The first question that is related to your cost of goods sold and cost of goods sold that is equal to what we have to just find out from the given options. So multiple options are given here and we have to select only one here. So we know that there is a very minute difference between the sales and the cost of goods sold and that difference is known as a gross profit. Okay. So if I say what is the formula for the gross profit? So gross profit that is equal to the sales minus cost of goods sold. Okay. So if we have to just tell about the cost of goods sold that is equal to, so cost of goods sold should be sales minus gross profit. Okay, fine. But in the first option there is given that is gross profit minus sales, so it is not correct. Second option that is given gross profit minus operating profit, that is also not correct. Second is given, third is given sales minus operating profit, that is also not correct. Fourth is given operating cost minus operating expenses. Okay, this is something different. This is something different we are going to understand here. So what we understand by the operating cost. Operating cost, first understand that is what do we understand by the operating cost. So operating costs that are associated with the maintenance and administration of a business. Administration of business on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis. So if I say that is what we understand by the operating cost. So operating costs that are associated with the maintenance and administration of a business on a day-to-day basis. And it basically includes cost of goods sold and operating expenses. It is include cost of goods sold and operating expenses. So what kind of the operating expenses here I'm talking about, like you have to just pay the rent, you have to just pay the overhead cost, you have to pay the overhead cost as well as the raw materials and maintenance expenses. So that all known as the operating expenses. Okay, so basically if I say what we understand by the operating cost, that means that if I say that is operating cost that are associated or say that are the ongoing expense, that are ongoing expense incurred from normal day to day of a running a business. So whatever the ongoing expenses in running for any company, so that is known as a operating cost. Okay, so that is known as a operating cost. So if I say what we understand by the operating expense, so operating expense is, it is also abbreviated as a OPEX, and it is an expense a business incurs through its normal business operations. So that is known as a ongoing expense. Okay, so like any company or say any organization have to pay the rent, travel, utilities. Okay, so any kind of the expenses like rent, travel, utilities, any property taxes. Okay, depreciation and advertising. So whatever the cost here incurred, that is known as the operating expenses. So operating cost, the another formula I am here to tell, that is operating cost, and operating cost is equal to the cost of goods sold plus operating expenses. That's it. Okay, so that is known as a operating cost, and that is equal to the cost of goods sold plus operating expense. Fine. So in this question, the answer that would be equal to the 4. Like cost of goods sold, that is equal to the operating cost minus operating expenses, which is also can write as a operating cost that is equal to the cost of goods sold plus operating expenses. Next, so next question, that is a bill drawn on 1st of March 21 as payable 2 months was accepted on the 2nd of March 21. So the date of maturity of this will be okay. So whenever we have to just counting date of maturity, so we just count from the date, that is the bill, the date when the bill is drawn. Okay. So in this the bill of exchange, there is a drawer who makes the bill of exchange, and there is a drawee who just accept the bill of exchange. Okay, so suppose that this drawer just make the bill of exchange, or say it is also known as a creditor, and this is known as a debtor, right? Okay, so the drawee, or say just make the bill of exchange, so that he makes the bill of exchange on the 1st of March 21. Fine. And he accepted the bill of exchange on the 2nd March 21. So in the bill of exchange, we always add 3 days of the grace period in the date of the maturity. Okay. So if it is payable after 2 months, so that after 2 months the date would be 1 May of 21, and just add the 3 days on this and you will get the date of the maturity, and that would be equal to the 4th of May 21. So the answer of this question, that would be the 4th of May 21. Okay, there are also some there are also some clause like sometime it is given as a like after side bill, and in the case of the after side bill, you have to just accept, or say you have to just find out the date of maturity from the acceptance of the bill. Okay, so suppose that he just accept the bill on the 2nd of March. So in the case of the after side bill, we have to count the number of the days from the 2nd of March 21. But it is a normal case when a bill is drawn on the 1st of March and nothing mentioned that about the side bills. So we just have to find out from the given case, like if the bill is drawn on the 1st of March 21, so after 2 months, that the date would be the 1st of May 21, and the after just add the 3 days, 3 days of the grace period, and now the date of the maturity, that would be the 4th of May 21. So the right answer, that would be the first. Okay. The next question, that is a bill received from a debtor is called. So whenever we just received any kind of the bill from our debtor, and that is known as a bills receivable. Okay, so that is known as a bills receivable, or say this is called as an account receivable. Okay, so bills receivable, if we are just receiving up any kind of the bill from a debtor, so suppose that we just provided, or say I just provided goods or services on credit to my debtor, or say to any person B, and this is the person A. So the person A just provide goods or services on the credit to B. So this person A would be known as a creditor, and this person B would be known as a debtor. Okay, because this person B just received the goods on the credit, or say purchase the goods on the credit from the A. So for that, whatever the bill that is received from a debtor, okay, so that bill is known as a bill receivable, and that bill receivable is also called as a current asset. Okay, whenever you just want, you can just convert it to the cash. So bill receivable also part of the current asset as well as a quick asset. So bill receivable, the amount, or say the amount that we have to receive from our debtors, and that is called the bill receivable. So bill receivable, that is a current asset, and current asset, or say what, and the assets are just if we just talking about in which account we classify bill receivable, so that would be the real account. Okay, so this is also another question can be framed from like this, from this question. So a bill received from a debtor, that is known as a bill receivable, and that would be the answer here. Next question. Next question, that is we have to just find out which one of the following groups is classified as a current liabilities. So current liabilities uh, are known as a liabilities. Anyone know about the current liability? Can you tell me what we understand by the current liabilities? Look, current liabilities are all the liabilities that we have to pay, that we have to pay within a 1 year. Okay, so that all liabilities known as a current liabilities. Fine. So we have to find out the given options. We have to find out what are the current liabilities given here. So, like advance payment of the tax, advance payment of the machinery, computer and office equipment, this is not the current liability. Okay, current liabilities, that means our debt. That means debt to pay. So whatever the debts we have taken, or say whatever the amounts that already due, but we have not the that amount paid. So amount is already due, but we just do not pay that, so that is known as the current liabilities. Okay, so current liabilities, that means all the debt, or say all the due amount that is not paid, and we have to just pay within 1 year, that is known as a current liabilities. Fine. So the second option, that is given bank borrowings, sundry creditors, other liabilities falling due for payment within the 12 months. So that is basically all the characteristics of the current liabilities. So that's why the answer, that would be the second, that would be bank borrowings. Any bank borrowings, sundry creditors and other liabilities that falling due for payment within 12 months, that is known as a current liabilities. Okay. If I say that is goodwill, preliminary expenses, patents, that is a kind of the asset. Okay. So that this is not the part of the liability. So the answer, that would be the all liability that we have to pay within 12 months. So that is known as a current liability. So the answer, that would be the second. The next is a clerical error that committed while posting, totaling, or balancing of an account. So this is kind of the error is. So the kind of the error that is known as the error of the commission. So error of the commission, whenever any error occur, like we just committed the error while in totaling of the debit and credit. Okay, so then the error, that would be the error of the commission. Suppose that you entered a wrong amount. Suppose that you have to just input the, or say you have to just credit the 500 rupees in anyone's account, but by mistake you just posted the 5000 rupees. So there is also error of the commission. Okay, so this kind of error is also known as a error of the commission. And suppose that you just make the mistake in the totaling, so there is also a mistake error, that is known as a error of the commission. And while just suppose you just entered amount in the wrong person's account. Okay, so there is also just as an error of the commission, the error that occurs is known as a error of the commission. So the answer here, that would be the error of the commission. Okay, so a clerical error that committed while posting, totaling or balancing of an account, that is known as the error of the commission. Now the next question, that is a machine costing 5 lakh rupees and it is depreciated on the straight line method, assuming 10 years working life and nil scrap value for 3 years. So the estimated of remaining useful life after third was reassessed at a 5 years. So calculate the depreciation for the fourth year. This is a very important question, and this is a somehow complicated question, or say this is a difficult question related to straight line method. Okay, so just understand how we solve these kind of the questions in the exam. So look, if any machine costing that is given of 5 lakh rupees and we have to calculate by the straight line method. So just understand, because depreciated amount, whatever the in the straight line method, the depreciation of the whatever the depreciated amount for the first year, and that would remain same for every years. Okay, so if we have to calculate the depreciation amount for the first year, or say for the every year, so how we calculate this? Because the total cost of the machine that is given the 5 lakh rupees. Okay, so I always tell you how you should calculate the depreciation. So if we have to calculate the depreciated amount, so we have to just include total cost of machine minus scrap value, or say residual value, or say salvage value. Okay, so just write here minus scrap value, and it is divided by the useful years. Okay, or say number of the useful years. So I always explain that after the useful years, the value of machine that would be counted as a scrap value. Okay, so scrap value here it is given, that is it is a nil, and number of the useful life that is given 10 years. So just write here that is 5 lakh, and it is divided by the 10. So the value that would be the 50,000. So that means it would be depreciated 50,000 rupees for every year. Okay, so after that, here it is another thing mentioned that assuming 10 years working life and nil scrap value for the 3 years. So that means till 3 years it will be depreciated by the 50,000 rupees every year. That means for the first year it is depreciated 50,000, for the another year it is depreciated with the 50,000, and for the third year it is also depreciated with the 50,000 rupees. So the total sum that would be the 1.5 lakh rupees, isn't it? Okay, so it is a 1.5 lakh rupees, and the 5 lakh is the 5 lakh is the total cost of the machine. That means now the book value of the machine, or say now the value of the machine after 3 years, if I say that value of the machine after 3 years, so that would be initial value, that is a 5 lakh, and depreciated amount, that is a 1.5 lakh. So that would be equal to the 3.5 lakh rupees. Okay, after that, what the question is, that is the estimated of the remaining useful life after third, that means after third year, was reassessed at the 5 years. That means when we just purchase the machine, so the working life, or say the useful years of that machine is a 10 years, but after third year it is again reassessed, and now the useful life of the machine, that is a 5 years. Okay, now we have to calculate the depreciation for the fourth year. So just tell me the answer of this question, how we can just solve this. So depreciation, like remaining useful life according to the previous estimate, that was 7 years. If we just counted like 10 years is the useful life. Look, look here, what I'm going to say, that is value of the machine after 3 years. So we know that we purchased the machine for the 5 lakh, and 1.5 lakh it is depreciated. So now the value of this 3.5 lakh. And initially when we purchased the machine, the useful years, that is a 10 years, but now it is after 3 years we just reassessed it, and now the useful year, that is the 5 years. Okay, we reduce the number of the years. So if we calculate the depreciation for the fourth year, how we can just calculate total, how we calculate depreciation for the fourth year? So the total cost of the machine, that is 3.5 lakh. Okay, and salvage value is not given, so that is the 0. Okay, and it is divided by the number of the useful years. Now the number of the useful years, that is 5 years. Okay, so now just divided by the 5, and you will get here, that is 70,000 rupees. So the answer that would be of this question, the 70,000 rupees of the appreciation for the fourth year, that would be the 70,000 rupees. Okay, so if in the exam you just find these kind of the questions related to straight line method, okay, so you have to just solve by this method, and this question is asked in the previous year question, so this is very important. Okay, so so that's all for this session. I hope this lecture would be very useful for you, And if you're liking our content, please do not forget to hit the like button on this video, and just maintain the notes, whatever the sessions I have taken on the YouTube, whatever the sessions I have taken on the daily basis. You have to just maintain the notes from that and prepare very well for the examination. So because whatever the questions I am including in this series of the session, that all the question related to your memory based questions of the previous year. So just practice that and maintain the notes as well. Okay. And now we will meet on the tomorrow at the same time. If you are not downloaded the Adda 247 application, just download this and subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel, so that you can get the notifications of the live lectures as well as the notifications of the important news that is related to your exam. Okay, so thanks for watching me here. Thanks for joining me here, and like this video, share this video to your friends and subscribe the channel.